This is Vampire Kisses 86, Kokichi's Ailment. Written by Saichi Kohana and read by Saichi Kohana and Bonk. Enjoy the video.
What's wrong, Kokichi? I asked, putting a hand on his shoulder.
Don't touch me!
He yelled a bit as he stood up. I reached after him, feeling my face contort in confusion. What happened to Kokichi? Does this have to do with Kurai possessing him again? And does Cathy know anything about this? Kichi? I called out to him again, with some tears in my eyes. My confusion was mashing together with my worry, making me tear up. I was worried that Kokichi got hurt again, that we aren't ever going to be okay again.
Don't call me Kichi. You monster!
He said back in a harsh tone that made my heart sting. More tears came, and he went to move away from me. But there was this force keeping him in place. I knew it must have been Sin holding him back from leaving, and I know exactly why she would do this. Knowing Kurai wants his blood and making him leave to where neither me or Cathy can protect him. It puts him at a disadvantage. Also, having this weird effect on him, it's causing him to act so off-put. I'm sure something happened to him in the time Kurai moved to possess his body, while I was preoccupied keeping Cathy away from us. This is all my fault.
Sin, let me go! I can do this on my own, damn it!
He yelled, moving his hands to scratch his chest. I moved over to him and held his hands in my own, despite him kicking his legs against me and struggling. I felt my heart breaking at how he was behaving. What happened to my baby? What happened to my Kichi?
Get off me!
He yelled at me, trying to push me away again. I didn't say anything as I saw Cathy put a needle into his neck. I looked over at Cathy, who was breathing hard as Kokichi's body shuddered. Her face was panicked, but her eyes seemed more serious as the pale blue liquid went into his neck.
What did you do?
He started to ask before his eyes closed again. I felt horrible as his body went limp in my arms. What did you... I started asking before Cathy grabbed my hand.
We have to get him out of here.
Was all she said before she moved the three of us down to the opening to the tunnel. I gave her a confused glance before she motioned for me to open the door. I wasn't sure what she wanted me to do because I couldn't even remember how to open the door. But before I could even respond, Cathy took my hand in her own. I looked over to her with confused eyes, looking down at her hand placed in mine on Kokichi's heart. His chest was still exposed, and the scars that were pulsing with the pink color were now barely lined with blue. They were the pink hue a normal scar would be, but the blue around them soon healed the wounds. I watched in awe as the blue became brighter before it healed the wounds on his chest, making it look as if they were never there in the first place. His skin looked healed for the first time in a while, as a faint pink wisp slowly flew away from his chest as the last marks disappeared. How? I could barely get the words out as I held Kokichi close to me, happy that he was okay and we were able to solve the mystery of the scars on his chest. A new question is how I was able to do this with Cathy's help when before I couldn't even begin to help heal them.
It will all be explained, but as of now we need to get to the shrine.
She said, as the door opened and Anaki walked out. Hello, hello! She called out, waving us to the car that was waiting for us in the entrance. I was overly confused. Anaki came here with the car, and how did Cathy know this?
Thank you. Take Kokichi and set him up in the back of the car.
Cathy said from behind me, before Anaki came over and picked up Kokichi. She moved him into the back seat, wrapping a jacket around him and putting a jacket over him. I smiled at her kindness before I remembered what happened with some of the other Dice members. "How do I know I can trust you?" I asked with a cold glare. She smiled a bit and laughed at my response. "Dice is loyal to Kokichi, and being a Dice member myself, I will always stay loyal to the boss," she said in a teasing tone before she started the car. Cathy had already moved into the passenger seat, and I took my spot in the back with Kokichi. He was so cold. What did Cathy give him? I let my gaze move over to Cathy, and she slowly met my gaze.
I bet you're confused.
She stated the obvious. I rolled my eyes a bit. "Of course I am," I shot back, feeling a little defensive of Kokichi.
It's okay, Shuichi. I can explain it all on the way there.
She said, smiling a bit. I felt my body relax a bit as I held Kokichi's head on my lap. It was calming to have him here with me, even if Kurai ended up doing something to him. The car started moving down the other way from where it came at a very fast speed. "We're going to have to take the old tunnels to get to the shrine," Anaki said, looking over to Cathy, who nodded at her. I felt confused because of their behavior, but didn't let it get to my head too much. They must have some sort of connection, and that must be why they are so close.
Okay.
Cathy said gently before she turned to face me.
We have to go to the Shrine of Fire and the Shrine of Wind to be able to get more information, as well as a cure for Kokichi.
I felt my eyes widen. There are shrines for the elements? So, if Kokichi and I go there, then we will be able to get information about our powers? And maybe even about the bond we have with each other? Okay. I'll trust you know what you're doing. I paused for a moment. I knew asking too many questions would waste time, and that would end up making Kokichi suffer more. But if either of you put Kokichi in danger, I won't hesitate to kill you. My voice was more dark and made both of them shudder a bit. "We wouldn't do that to your Kokichi," Anaki said, giving me a calm glance. "I promise nothing bad will happen to him," she said again before we were back to focusing on the road. I don't feel ready for this, but knowing more about Sin and Hess, as well as the odd situation me and Kokichi are in, will only end up helping us.
This has been Vampire Kisses 86, Kokichi's Ailment. Written by Saichi Kohana and read by Saichi Kohana and Bonk. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.